All right, hi guys, welcome again to another episode of Cultivated. And today, of course, we have a guest, another time. And hope you guys had a good day, a good week, by the way. And hope you guys will get a lot of, you learn something from this episode also. So thank you guys again for subscribing and also for following us and always watching our videos. And so today I want to introduce you to another guest. Hey, man.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yourself?
I'm perfect. And I'm excited.
Man, also excited to be here.
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Michael.
Yes.
They call me Michael Mutaki. That's according to the government.
Yeah.
In the streets, they call me Mike. Yeah.
Guys, this is the first time I'm actually meeting Mike. Believe it or not. So we are going to learn about Mike together. So take it away, Mike.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for having me. Yes. My first interview ever. And I'm glad.
How lucky are we?
Man, I'm also lucky.
Yeah.
And good stuff, man. Yeah. I've seen what you're doing.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you. It's because of these guys, man.
Yeah.
They're giving me encouragements every other time.
Yeah, guys, let's support our very own.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it feel to do your first interview?
Of course, this is something I've been longing for. But I feel like I'm happy. I feel like jumping. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
No nervousness?
Not really.
Okay.
It was there, but I think we were born ready.
It's always good to be born ready, man. And if you're not born ready, you just have to fake it till it happens, right?
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the basis of our story, man. When life hands you something that you didn't expect or something that you don't want or challenges that you have to face before you get to your destination. So Mike, maybe tell us, you can start wherever, you can have the conversation in whatever direction.
Okay, thank you. So Mike was born many years ago, according to me. Yeah. I know you have your many years ago too.
So men are not supposed to share their age.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, many years ago, according to me.
According to the government.
And according to the government. Born and raised partly in Nakuru County, specifically in Njoro.
Yeah.
Schooling, yes, I schooled partly in Nakuru and some places in Kericho. Yeah, one of them in Kericho is Kipkelion. They call it, I think, Kipkelion East.
Yeah. For
3 years, came back to Nakuru for about 2 years again. Back to Kericho, now this time Kapsoit. That's actually Ainamoi, I think, sub-county or something. Yeah. And that's where I did my first KCP. I did twice. I did the first one and did the second one. And the first one I did my KCP was 2006 in Kapsoit, that is. And then my elder bro was actually going to Form 4. So I had to repeat class 8 to give him room at least to clear the school.
Okay.
So again, I came to some places in Kericho. It's famously known as Kaisugu. Like Kaisugu is famous for tea. So it was within the tea plantation.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, surrounded by green environment.
And it's called moist, or when it's not clear in the morning. Very cold and not clear in the morning.
Foggy.
Yes.
Yeah, that used to happen, but not a lot. Okay. Again, the school was, I think, if you guys use Kericho
mostly.
Kisumu
Yes.
Road, you'll see the first tea factory you'll see is Kaisugu.
Oh, it's called Kaisugu, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I did my second KCP. Passed. Didn't, according to me, again.
Yeah. Is it the first one, eh?
The first one, yes. I didn't fail, actually.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know whether I should tell them.
Did you pass, or did you pass according to you?
I think I was above average. Let me say that. I was above average.
Yeah.
I was slightly below 300. Slightly.
That is over 500, eh?
Slightly below 300 marks. It was out of 500.
Out of 500, yes. Yeah. Okay.
So it was slightly below 300.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, and I had to repeat, even though I'd qualified to go to high school.
Yeah.
So
how did it make you feel? Repeating at that time? You're about what age right now? At that moment?
At that point,
14, 13?
I was actually approaching 20. I was actually approaching 20. Yeah.
Primary.
I'm telling you. Okay, guys, I lost 5 years in my schooling. That is in my primary schooling. I lost mysteriously 5 years. I don't know whether...
Is it delayed? You delayed to join
not really.
School or
situations happen
in
or
between?
things happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I can quickly probably share.
No worries.
I said I was born in Nakuru, went to Kericho, back to Nakuru, and then to Kericho. So all this movement I used to repeat a class.
Because of
the transfers.
And these were informed by maybe your parents changing jobs or something?
Not really. I was made to understand actually this year that I was taken to Kericho simply because the environment I was in Nakuru, it was not good for my education. I don't know in what sense, but I'm told in the environment, your parents know better why they have to transfer you. So I went for 3 years, but it turned out to be the worst. When I used to be very competitive in my class, from when I was in nursery. Nowadays it was nursery. I don't know, nowadays it's PP or something, or pre-preparatory something. So I was very competitive. Someone we were fighting for number 1, number 2, number 3 is currently a doctor.
Damn.
He's my cousin. Love you, Gidi, man.
Gidi, big up Gidi.
I became, when I went to Kericho first time, education was never a priority. And I'm sorry to say this, if Uncle will ever come to see this video, work was a priority. Work was priority.
So that means you used to go to school, but at the same time you'll do some work?
Some
what kind of work?
Some work.
Farming,
it was farming, because that place there's no tea in that place. It was more of coffee, and also the main cash crop was coffee and maize. So tungeamka asubuhi before tuende shule, labda kwanza tupeleke ng'ombe deep, of which it was quite a distance to rudi tujitayarishe tuende shule, almost the same place. On weekends, on Sunday, because uncle yangu alikuwa mtu wa SDA, very strong, kona hizo roots za SDA. So on Saturday, either uchunge ng'ombe ama uende church. It was the rule. Chunge ng'ombe ama uende church.
You know, that's actually something that anyone who has grown up country has to deal with. Farming,
livestock, farming generally.
Harvest, what do you call it? Planting, harvesting. When you have dairy like cows, you have to deal with that every almost every day.
True.
It's
crops and livestock.
Exactly.
So for us it used to happen both ways. Because on Sunday labda tungeamka kitu kama 4 or 5 in the morning. We go until using the oxen. Until midday. So funny thing is that ikifika around 10, 11, you feel sleepy, and the only thing which will wake you up ni utasikia tu kamawe kamelanda kwa mgongo. And then you become active for a certain period of time, and then so it happened. So that actually affected me, and truly affected my academics.
So is it affected you? Maybe could you explain, if you reflect back, was it a psychological thing that led to that, or it was just the fact that you were not always attentive because you were tired?
I can't say psychologically, but there's an aspect. We didn't have basically time to probably concentrate on books, because it was work.
By the time in the morning, by the time you show up at work, you're tired.
You wake up first in the morning. You do work. Either go to the river, which was like 200 meters away. You have a jerrycan or you have a container to fill in yourself. It was about 10. It was about 10
years.
10 years, and that is now, guys, if you'll do your mathematics, it was late 90s.
Late 90s, 10 years. And this year in which class?
I was supposed to be in class 4 now. That's the first time I repeated class 3.
Class 3, okay.
Yes.
And this is because of your performance?
Not because of my performance, because now I've gone to a new school, and there was no extra position for me to join class 4. So I was forced to repeat class 3. I don't know, for me to catch up. I can't really remember the analogy which they used. But
in the 90s we used to have that thing.
Used to have that when you're new, you have to repeat.
if you transfer maybe towards the end of third term,
Yeah.
in the new school, you cannot be allowed to continue proceed. You have to repeat.
Yeah, because I think I transferred starting of the term, January. So the class probably it was full. And funny enough, in our class we used to be like 3 streams or something. We were a lot. We were about 100 and something.
And this is a government
School, yes.
Okay.
You know, this funny enough, this school was like few kilometers away from the natural forest.
Yeah.
These forests are stretching from Kericho to Nandi. It's known as the Tinirets Forest. So we used to see forests like here.
It was very close.
Very close. We used to actually go to farm in the forest. I think Regiji juzi ndio amesema ile story ya kurudi kulima kwa msitu.
Yeah.
Presently, remember those things wanasema you can still go back na kulima.
Yeah, you coexist with the,
coexist with the natural forest and the animals there. So yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah. Actually, the reason behind that I think is because if you, it's like people taking care of the forest by farming in the forest.
Exactly.
Because when you're watering your crops, you will have to water the tree also. I think that was the psychology. That was the thinking around that, which clearly doesn't work because.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you. Do you think it used to work?
I don't think it will be effective.
Because every day we used to like move the border to encroach the forest.
Yeah.
You know, for you to have few meters of land, increase your land space. You know, for you to probably grow more crops or something.
Yeah.
So.
Plus also nutrition competition between the trees and your crops.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, for me it was not working. It was na place tulikuwa tunalima hakukuwa na mti ati naweza sema agroforestation. It was open field. Miti zimekauka, zimekatwa. Yeah. So for me it used not to work. I hope nowadays the cut line and everything may work, but I'm yet to visit. I've never visited that place for the last 20 plus years ago.
Wow, okay.
Since I left.
Where did you live?
I left that place. I'm very good in those dates. It was 14th of December 2001.
Wow, okay.
I left.
So before you get to
Nakuru. Yeah.
So you left Nakuru, you went to Kericho? Or
yes. I left Nakuru, I went to Kericho, Kipkelion to be specific.
Kipkelion?
Yes.
So that at this time, that's when you repeated class 3? I
had to repeat class 3 at that point.
And then you were in Kipkelion for how long?
For 3 years.
For 3 years?
99, 2000, 2001.
And for those 3 years, you were struggling with school because now you had to double hat?
When I repeated class 3, I was not really struggling. I remember why at some point, again, I used to struggle. Because, you know, it is interior.
Yeah.
You guys will forgive me. That place is interior.
Yes, it is interior.
It is near the forest.
It is interior.
Yes, it's near forest. So people used to speak mother tongue.
Yes.
Myself.
Yeah. Just put it on the top.
Myself, I was not good in mother tongue.
Yes.
After all, I don't know that mother tongue. Yes, it used to be. I could hear my mom speak.
Yes.
But I'll always answer her using Swahili.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I learned the language now how to perfect in speaking, and that is Kipsigis. That is Kipsigis is in Kali.
Yes.
Yeah, and I speak Kali to date.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I used to struggle a lot with the mother tongue. You might find sometimes teachers are explaining things with mother tongue.
Yeah.
So it used to be hectic for me because this is not something I'm used to. I'm from an environment where I can say Nakuru is more of cosmopolitan because we were mixed. Kikuyus, Kambas, Kale, and any other tribe. You know, Nakuru is cosmo.
That's actually a challenge in Kenya, where if you go to the rural areas, the schools there, teachers use mother tongue to explain, to teach you maths, to teach you almost every subject, including English.
So I think that really affected me, and it turned my character, not in a good way. I don't know. I don't want to say growing thick-skinned because it turned my character to be a bad boy in one way or another.
You became rebellious.
Exactly.
At an early age.
Exactly.
Because of what you had gone through in the 3 years.
Yes. Okay. I was also naughty, and I was happy to go back to my home. That is back to Nakuru.
Yeah.
Again, it didn't last. Came to Nakuru for about a few years again. I think 3 again, and then went back now to Kericho Kapsoit. At this point, the disturbing age has already knocked.
So now you're getting to teenagehood?
Yes.
So you come back to Nakuru, how many years?
I came to Nakuru, let's say 2002. Again, I repeated class 5.
because of the movement.
Exactly. Now this is the second year getting lost, right?
How did the repeating make you feel the first time? The first time when you were told to repeat, how did it make you feel?
Of course, I was demoralized, but I had no choice. I was demoralized, but I had no choice. Again, second time I was told to repeat class 5. I was demoralized now, and this really affected me. Why? Because I'm in the class where by the time I was leaving Nakuru first time, these are people who are not, they were actually starting nursery. Now I'm in the same class with them.
When you're going back to Nakuru?
Like, between me and them, there used to be a class.
Yeah.
No, like I was ahead of them 2 classes. But now I'm in the same class with them.
Wow.
Remember now.
So you went back to the same school?
I went back to my old school.
In Nakuru?
In Nakuru.
So you that's funny. Wow, okay.
Yeah, so I went back.
How did you deal with that?
No, it was not easy. And now...
They were making fun of you, eh?
Okay, they didn't make fun of me. They didn't make fun of me because they were young by the time I was leaving. They were really young.
So they didn't even know...
Yes, we used to know each other because of playing when we were growing up, but again, for them, I think it was a joy because this guy used to be ahead of us. He used to be with my elder or my elder sister, or my elder sibling. Now we are together. But we blended in one way or another. But now the funny thing, which actually I can say tortured me, is that academics, man. I was not performing.
Yeah.
And this started when I was in Cape Leon.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you the school was densely populated.
Yeah.
In my class, we were about 125 people.
Yeah.
I remember the last exams I did, I was, because number really matters. Marks used not to matter then.
Yeah.
I was number 125 out of 125.
That is in Kericho.
Yes, and I had to change. I had to change at least 120 out of... At least to show the parent, who again, my uncle and auntie then, to show them at least nimeshinda wase watano. Which for them, I didn't see them taking it or looking into it with...
And how were they taking things like
academically?
If they looked at your performance, was it affecting your relationship with them? Were they?
Let me say they didn't care.
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
Okay.
Like no one was checking on your academics because I can't remember.
They were a bit busy, so they were there. Is it because they were busy? Is it because what do you think? Maybe.
I can say probably were they busy again? Yeah, I know my uncle is somebody who's committed with church. Yeah. Like it is either him or church. You see, so he was busy with church and other things. That is farm work. Again, I don't want to say probably they didn't care much because they had not excelled in education themselves. Yeah, I think there's that aspect. Yeah, but it happened. So he came back to Nakuru, man. This academic dwarf guy here now with the kids. I left them when they were kids. They were in nursery actually. They were with my younger bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the same class with them, and I'm like,
with your younger bro.
let me just try because this is better than before.
Yeah.
So I struggled. Went to the next class. Remember I told you I was in that disturbing age. Yeah. Became rebellious, more rebellious.
Yeah.
To a point that I was disrespecting my parents, man.
So this is upper class, upper primary.
Upper primary.
Around 7, 8.
No, that's class 5. I have come back now, repeated class 5.
Oh, repeated class 5.
Yes.
Wow.
Went to class 6. Again, I was not good in books. I was told, and now the aspect of being naughty kicked in. So by the time we were supposed to go to class 7,
yeah,
you can't imagine the teacher who was the deputy head teacher told me, Michael, you're not going to class 7 because you're rude, you're naughty, your character will spoil the other class. So you have to repeat class 6.
So it's not even about performance.
Yes.
It was just about character.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was like a punishment or something. So I had to repeat class 6. Again, more kids coming in. By the time I was leaving, they were in their diapers or nappies then.
So class 3, class 5, Now class 6.
Now class 6, repeating class 6.
Whoa, okay.
But this time round, I was now back to my feet academically.
Yeah.
I was average.
Well, what led to the switch or the shift?
I think doing things over and over, repetition.
Oh, so you used to
Yeah.
1 + 1 is 1 every time.
Yeah. And then motivation from the kids who have left me, they've proceeded.
Oh, so you wanted to prove.
I want to prove like, yeah, I can do it, man.
Yeah, okay.
And I'll come touch that story probably later. So yeah, I was okay, back to my feet. Very competitive in class. Again, I was not doing my homeworks. I was not reading after you are out of school, you go read. After school ni kwenda kucheza, either kucheza ama kwenda kurandaranda.
Yeah.
I know today probably we'll talk of my journey in a way and how things look like.
Yes.
That's when I started earning money.
In
class 6.
Class 6.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a guy, a relative of mine, who used to hire me on a school day, mind you, to go work for him where he used to work. He used to work with government agency, KARI, Kenya Agricultural Research Institute
Yeah.
in Njoro. So I used to go work for him, basically to guard the sunflower. Isikuliwe na ndege.
Nakuru, yeah?
Nakuru, yeah. So naenda hapo napiga mabinja zangu, nikirushaga mawe, nikifukuza ndege. From 8 to midday, somebody else comes, the shift is over, and he pays me 100 bob.
So this is between what time and what time?
8 in the morning, 8 a.m.
So you're not going to school?
Not going to school.
Because it doesn't make sense. You've
Because
repeated.
I've seen money.
And you've repeated and you know what's
Yes,
meant to be
and
taught.
I know that I'll pass the exam.
Ah.
I did that until the authorities got up with me. One day, we were harvesting the sunflower. You know, sunflower is so easy. Once it's dry, ziukatwa, alafu zinasanywa, and then for you to harvest the seed, because the seed is the most important part of the sunflower. We were harvesting, and a supervisor came. His supervisor asked me, "Hi, what's your name?" Of course, I told him my name. "What class are you?" I'm class 6. "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "You know, my cousin was going somewhere, and I had to come at least stand in for him." It was like, "Let me never see you again here. Let this be the last time I'm seeing you here." But man, at this time, huyu jamaa ananikatizia because I've tested the money.
You tested the money. What did you used to do with the money?
Basically buy clothes and get my personal effects.
Okay.
Yeah, not again. Apart from that, I used to do bad things. Take alcohol.
Class 6.
Class 6, yes.
Okay. So let's get to this point. So your cousin start paying you for being there for him when he's not around.
Yeah.
To tend to the sunflowers.
Yeah.
The alcohol. How did the alcohol start?
Remember, this is a village setup, not a town setup, right?
Yes.
So changa was readily available. Ni changa mbaya.
During ceremonies.
Not ceremonies. Someone's business. You go to changa dance and you drink.
Even for a kid, you just walk in and say.
Now, funny enough, funny enough, and I know my mom forgive me. If not, if you ever come across this clip, nisamehe.
She'll call you.
She'll call me. I'll show her the clip. So, my dad used to encourage me. I used to go with him to the changa dance. Ndio akilewa mimi ni mbebe.
Class 6, how strong were you to carry
me with my other relatives and friends.
Okay.
But I used to be his bouncer. So yeah, tungekunywa naye changa ningembaia because I have money at that point. Yeah, and so I didn't again continue working because nimefukuzwa na huyo mse, which for him it was making sense. I'm supposed to be in school.
Yeah.
So my mommy noted, and I thank her for that. She told me, "Michael, I think I have talked to my mom, now my grandma, and my brothers and my sister. I want you to go to Kericho." The defense mechanism kicked in. Mom, me, I'm not going to people's place. I think I went to the first one. I was disappointed. I'm not going to somebody else's house. She was like, "You're not going to people's place. You're going to my home, to my mom's place." So I refused. But after a few weeks, I changed my mind. Approached her, asked her whether I should go, whether the chance was still there.
Why did you, what led to that main change?
I was not leading a good life.
You felt it?
I felt it because now at that point I had already started doing alcohol more often.
Drinking?
Smoking. Yeah. And my dad was not there to correct me. Instead, he was encouraging.
Yeah.
I have also, I can say, big or elder
siblings,
cousins. I'm the second born of 4. So, and my bro was doing well, and he was actually in Kericho too. He was doing well, so I was supposed to go join him.
Your elder?
Yeah, my elder bro. So, so after doing these bad things, drinking and smoking, we used to do bad manners in the village, probably screaming all the way home. And you know, you're a kid.
Just being naughty and...
Yeah. You are shaming your parents. So, I felt it, man, and I was like, let me go. Let me just go concentrate with my books. So I went to Kericho. This was 2005. I was lucky enough not to repeat class.
When you're going back to Kericho, you were not repeating.
So I repeated class 3, class 5, and class 6. Now I went there during class 7. Funny enough, with all these bad things which used to happen, I was among the best.
In class 7?
With class 7 guys. In a new school. Now this was again Calais land. With more of, I used to now to have more relatives compared to this other side. I used to stay to my aunt's place. I call her mom. I call her Mom Jane. I love you, mommy. It's because of you that I'm seated to this TV today, or channel. Yeah, so she shaped me. She never gave me a chance to probably play around. And the only thing we used to do there was books. Toka shule, kuja piga books. We used to have time. Angekuambia ufanye nini?
Start. Okay. All right, guys, welcome again to part 2 of hanging out with Michael or Mike. And I hope you guys are learning something, man. And if you haven't, if you don't know what's going on here, we're going through some experience with Mike. He's in his story. And there's a lot of lessons, especially if you're interested in business, investments, and so many other things. So I don't want to preempt before we get there. So join us again, man. So Mike.
Yeah, thank you. And career too.
And career, of course.
Okay. Yeah, so picking from where we left, now we're in Kericho.
Yes.
Phase 2 of Kericho now, Kapsoit to be precise, which is actually really not far from Kisumu. Driving from Kapsoit to Kisumu is 30 minutes to 45, thereabout. Yeah. So at this point now, concentration was books, environment was okay for me. My uncle, my auntie were good. Yeah, and I was doing nothing other than books. We used to have like preps time every evening, from Monday to Monday. The good thing is that we used to have an uncle. Yes, he's an oldie, but he was very tough when it comes to mathematics. So whenever we are stuck, he was always there to assist, to do few solutions that probably are stuck. Yeah, so that sharpened me. So yeah, I did my first ACP. Again, I didn't do bad. I think I'd mentioned earlier. Yeah, I can tell you the marks. I think you can convert the marks into money. I had got 290 out of 500.
Out of 500,
yeah.
That is KCPE.
That is KCPE. The year was 2006. Again, come 2007, I didn't proceed to high school because my brother, my elder bro, was joining Form 4. And for you guys who know that having a child in Form 1 and a Form 4,
it's crazy. It's expensive.
If you're not well prepared, kama hauna Eurobond mahali ama pesa za tenda, utaumia. Yeah, so
something had to give.
Yeah, exactly. So my auntie again approached me, asked me to repeat class 8. Now this was willingly. I repeated class 8 only to give my bro room to proceed with Form 4. And for him to have easy time, you know.
You didn't feel anything?
For me, I thought it was the right thing. Because there's no need for me to go to Form 1, he's Form 4, and then both of us, we get stuck.
Yeah.
And the sole breadwinner at this point was my dad. So yeah, he was trying. Yeah, he was trying. Yeah. So that's how he repeated the class 8. Now this is the 4th repetition, right?
Yeah.
If you're counting. In Kaisugu, I had mentioned Kaisugu. For those people who know Kericho, as you enter Kericho, the first place you'll meet tea leaves. And the first tea factory, that is Kaisugu. That's where I repeated class 8. Was staying with my auntie, a sister to my mom. And she was a teacher at the same school. Okay. The school was public, owned by government, but the company, now Kaisugu Tea Factory, was kind of acting like a sponsor, like literally providing all the required resources. So the government was doing little, probably teachers only, the TSC. But the resources in school, building classes,
food.
I got there when the lunch was removed.
Okay.
But they used to provide
food for teachers, maybe now.
For students.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was food or tea break or something.
Yeah.
By the time I was there, that was not there. But the company really assisted that community because most of the students there, most of the pupils there were kids to these company employees.
Okay.
You know, na wengi sana walikuwa unapata mapata yao si zile za hali ya juu.
Yeah.
Ungepata wenye wako, let's say the high paid employees wangepeleka watoto yao probably the privates around.
Yeah.
Even though the school was among the best. The school was among the best. Yeah, so you'll find that the school was run by the company.
Yeah.
So tulikuwa tu sawa. I did my second KCP. You'll be surprised, Cecile, when I was doing my second KCP, my younger bro was also doing the KCP.
What's the age difference?
2 years difference.
2 years, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2 years.
Where?
2 years na pia kidogo alikuwa na reputation mahali hapo. Sijui what had happened. No, he repeated because my cousin, may his soul rest in peace, his name was Robert, was repeating class 5. And since they were good buddies, he said, I cannot leave my friend behind. I'll have to wait for him. So he repeated class 5 because my cousin was to repeat. Yeah, so at this time now, I'm doing my KCP, second KCP. He's also doing his first KCP. So what came to my mind is that if I don't perform well, I might be forced to repeat for the second time to make it that attempt now. Yeah. So I was concentrating with books. Yeah. Because literally there was no shamba for me there. There was nothing literally because tuko kwa ile kambi. You know that school is like a camp. Yeah. There's no town in between. You wake up, lift your head, you only see green. Okay. To the far as your eyes can go. It's green, 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 green. Either forest, tea and forest, and forest. Yeah. Both natural and man-made because the factory used to again to plant trees for the firewood. Ah, okay. Yeah. So I had a lot of time. I had a lot of time. And guys, I was index 2. Yeah. Wow, okay. The first one? The first, there was a guy, I think he was also repeating. He was index 1.
And the previous year, which index were you?
I was index 22.
Wow. So it really improved.
Yeah, so I was index 2 in this case. Yeah. There's no day I ever scored below 300. Nice. There's no day I ever got less than number 1, 2, 3. We used to play around number 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. The three of us again, index 1, index 3. Yeah. Index 3 was a lady. Yeah. Yeah. So did my KCP again. I did well this time around. Yeah, but if you guys remember 2007, what was happening in December?
Post-elections, man.
Post-election, man. Yeah. Yeah, so there was limitation of movement. Yeah.
That is 2007, 2008.
Yes.
Early 2008, yes.
Yes, and I did my KCP 2007. November or December 2007. Okay. Now you see, after KCP is election immediately.
Election immediately, yes.
And the outcome we all know.
28th December.
I'm telling you, we all know the outcome. Yeah. And that is the first time I learned how to make arrows. Bows and arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, to be a warrior, to defend my community, defend my family, and yeah. So yeah, I did well my KCP, but due to post-election violence, limitation of movement, so people with higher marks who probably could have traveled to Nairobi, to Kiambu, where we have good schools, and any other places, let me say, to national schools.
Yes. It was a challenge at the time.
The transport industry was seized, so there was no movement.
Yeah.
So they'll occupy the provincial school, which we were supposed to occupy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I ended up in district school.
Yeah.
It's an old school, but still run by CDF.
Yeah.
A very old school. I think it was built in 1973. The school is along the highway on your way to Kisumu, slightly past Kapsoit Shopping Center. Yeah. So that the same high school my bro was.
Wow.
Yeah. Which again is not far. Is like across the road. The first primary I did my first KCP.
Ah, okay.
And it was day and boarding.
Wow.
So with my 300 plus marks, I had to go to high school where people will come with as less than 250 at times, or 250, or less than that.
Yeah.
So we're in the same class, you know. And this is a school you have to really work hard. It's not a school like you'll say you'll be naturally perform. You know, for example, if you go to this big school, allow me to quote Alliance.
Yes.
Probably there's less effort you'll put in place compared to that school I went.
Yeah.
The effort is different.
Yeah, definitely. The effort is different.
The environment, the culture, and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember, I said it was day, mixed day and boarding.
Yeah. Wow. Mixed
Day and
boarding.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to board. And ile story ya monetization, yes, tulipata ikienda kuisha, but it was still there. It was still there, but I was protected simply because I had a cousin who was actually in Form 4 then.
Yeah.
And my bro has just left the school the previous year, and my bro was a mambo bad. So I was kind of protected in one way or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 years I was there. I did my KCSE in the year 2011. But still, in ideal situation, I was supposed to do my KCSE in 2007.
Yeah. Wow.
So I did my KCSE. Yeah, the high school, it was kind of smooth because I never came to Nakuru. I used to I can easily count, probably 3 times or 4 times just to come say hi to my parents.
Yeah.
But most of the time I was in Kericho.
Kericho, yes.
Yeah. It's actually countable.
Yeah.
And this was basically coming to say hi and go back. Yeah, so yeah, life was good. I didn't lack a lot. Yeah. As much as the school fees is paid in full, you know, you can't say you've lacked.
Yeah.
But mkate, hiyo ni sawa, leo iko kesho hakuna. That's normal.
Yeah.
For me, that was none of my biggest worry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come Form 4. My dad has stopped working.
Because of retirement or?
Not really. I think something happened in his place of work.
Yeah.
And he stopped working. So things became thick. I'm in Form 4.
Yeah.
In Form 4, yes, I can't say I was the best, but I was among the top 10.
Yeah.
By the way, from Form 1 to Form 4, I was among the top 10.
Top 10, eh?
Yes. Either I do half of the exams or I was among the top 10, yeah.
So what you experienced in Kericho towards the end at your auntie's helped you a lot.
Very. And she was, this person will say, there's nothing you guys are doing to me. I want you to read. There's nothing I need from you guys. Just read. I remember there's a day we didn't do well I think in primary. She really got mad and she punished us. She told us to go to the shamba and kulima, palilia miwa. Tukasema kama mngefanya vizuri amungeenda hapo, because now this is done by people who don't do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wake up call. So yeah, did well in Form 4. Again, I was average. I don't want to say I was extreme good or extreme bad. I was average. I scored C+. C+, you can go to university without bridging or
guaranteed,
something. Yeah, you're guaranteed as long as you can pay.
Yeah, of course.
But today you can go with the government something. Year help. Then it was JAB. Then.
Job, yeah.
Yeah.
So job, they will pay a bit of it and you'll...
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, and then at some point, this is something I've missed. At some point, things were thick. Nikafukuzwa shule, came, stayed at home for about a month. And I was like giving up. I was ready to let it go.
Yeah.
To be a form 3 dropout.
Okay.
My elder bro had gotten something, some work. So after a month of staying at home, he told me he promised to pay my school fees, and that's why I went back to school.
What led you to decide that you will be a dropout? Or you will drop out of school?
Okay. Things were thick. I said my dad stopped working. He was the sole breadwinner. He was the one paying my school fees. Now, no one is there to pay my school fees. I think it was first term because it was plus registration, so the amount was a bit high to raise it once. I think it was totaling to 17,000 if I'm not wrong. And you have to pay in full because this includes the registration, KCSE registration.
Yeah.
So for me, that was the end of me, you know. And I was ready to back and go home. So yeah. But my uncle was really touched because he had seen this potential in me in doing well, you know.
Yeah.
So at some point he was like, me, I'll assume this guy is an orphan. Let me pay for him. The same week he paid for my school fees, the same week my brother promised to gather some money and pay. So my brother refunded him. And that's how I went back to school with a balance of 1,000 bob. 1,000 bob to do my KCSE. So it was easy for me.
Yeah.
And apart from him paying that fee, he told my auntie to go with me to school and talk to the head teacher that we've paid what we have, the balance we will try and pay.
Yeah.
And the balance was 1,000 bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to school and that's how I did my KCSE. So after that, KCSE is not yet out. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Remember talking to my cousin, I won't mention his name. He's working with the forces.
Yeah.
Actually went to his place and because I knew for sure after high school, if I don't join the university through job, there's no way I'm going to college. That one I was guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I knew. So that's the forces was alternative then. So I went to his place, talked to him, asked him whether he can support me or give me some basically guidance on how I'll join.
Yeah.
So he told me, no worries, on this day, go to the field, have talked to...
This is after it was announced on
yes, after now it has been advertised. But before then, before even the KCSE is out, I was literally doing nothing within Kericho. So remember that auntie of mine who I used to stay with him in Kaisugu?
Yes. The one who shaped your life.
This is the second auntie now. Okay. There are two aunties here.
Okay.
So she told me, come to Bomet. There's a restaurant we are opening here. Just come and chill here as we wait for the results. For me, it was a deal. How can you get out of school even before results and you're working?
There's an opportunity to make money.
Exactly. So yeah, that's how I went to Bomet to work in a restaurant. But it didn't actually last for long, and it didn't work out for me. And even if you see my ID, I actually picked my ID in Bomet. Yeah, place of issue for my ID is Bomet.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's allowed to pick it from anywhere?
Yeah, it's allowed as long as you have all the facts with you.
Oh yeah, you know where you were born.
Yeah. And so I had everything. I had my birth certificate.
Your parents' details.
I had my photocopies of my parents. Yeah. So I applied and within a month I had my ID. So things didn't work as expected. I know I was going to look for few money here and there, at least to support myself and also clear the school so that I can pick my results.
Yeah.
So the results were announced. I think my minister then for education was Ongeri. Remember Sam Ongeri?
Sam Ongeri, yes.
Yeah. He was my minister for education. Then he announced. We sent the SMS. So what I scored, I think I've mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was thinking, what next? I have this good grade for me.
Yeah.
And this is mine. This is what I've scored.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can't go to university.
Yes.
This one I'm guaranteed.
Yeah.
I can't go to the university or college.
Yeah.
And that's again how the issue of joining forces came in. I think I've explained. So it didn't work. The forces didn't work. But before that, again, I had to go back to Kericho and now do some manual work here and there. Basically, kupalilia miwa. Nilikuwa napalilia miwa.
So
from Bomet to Kericho again.
So you go to Bomet expecting some job?
Yeah.
Did you start the job? Or?
I started. I worked for about 5 months.
5 months being paid?
Story for another day.
Okay. Okay, so things didn't go well.
Didn't go well, yeah.
You transitioned to...
Went back to Kericho.
Yeah,
kanza kupalilia miwa. Ngeshika mashamba.
The idea of sugarcane, where did it come from?
Because that was the available job then. Yeah.
So at this time you just want money?
I just want money. Because back in school I still have to clear. I'd lost some books. So I know I have to pay some books. I have to pay some books.
So the driving factor for money was because you have to pay.
I have to pay for
the school
to
be cleared.
For me, yeah, to be cleared,
yeah.
And to get my certificate or result slip at ease.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what happened. So went there. Kanza kulima kwa miwa, nikapata do. Nikaenda shule.
Yeah.
Remember going to bazaar nikamwambia, I don't want my caution money. I really don't want my caution money. Do this, convert my caution money into school fees. And I've banked the balance, which is 500. Yeah, so here's the slip. So I have cleared.
Yeah.
Instead of you giving me money to give you back, just
settle everything.
I've written off my caution money, which was 500 to be my school fees.
Yeah.
Went to library, I'd lost a few books in Form 1. I paid it. I talked to librarian.
Yeah.
Ambia niaje, mimi sina hizo books.
Yeah.
Sina hizo books. Na zilikuwa books za KLB. If you know KLB, it used to be expensive books, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the books. Nikamwambia niaje, mimi sina hizo books, but si tunaweza gawana hasara. So I was cleared.
Okay, nice.
Got my result slip. Came, tried the Kenya Army. Failed. And that is in 2012. The recruitment was happening in 2012 August.
Yeah.
That's the first time now I'm coming fully to Nakuru.
Okay. So Nakuru is when the recruitment was happening?
Yes.
Lanet,
because of, not Lanet. Since Lanet is for cadets.
Oh, okay.
So for servicemen, it used to be in the field. So ilikuwa inafanyika Njoro Boys.
Njoro Boys, okay.
Field ya Njoro Boys, because they used to have a very big field. You know, the police, the forces, they need a field for you because the turnout is big.
To
you
do
saw
the
other
physical
day.
tests.
Yeah, you saw the other day the turnout. Huh?
Yeah, crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
So they need a big field, and also for running and everything for recruitment process. So yeah, it failed. So I was here with my mom. Now I'm in Nakuru. What can I do? And then my dad then already got another job in Nairobi.
Yeah.
My dad used to be a driver.
Yeah.
So I'm here with mommy. Tunamka asubuhi, there's nothing we are doing. Tunasikia kibarua iko wapi? We go there. Na jembe zetu. That really got me and see what my mommy has been doing for ages.
Yeah.
Some guy is back-breaking or something. So I remember promising her, one day, I'll do this for you, but not physically. And I do. I'm currently doing it.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So tukakaa na Made for about a month. I wake up in the morning, first thing first is to milk the cows. And then either go look for food for these cows or I go graze them outside.
Yeah.
Or go to the shamba with mommy. So that happened for a month. That is 2012 September. My dad called. Hi, there's an opportunity here in Nairobi. Will you come? Can you work as a caretaker? For me, anything involving money, that's where you draw the line. I stop whatever I'm doing and rush. And I'm like, do you want me to come now?
Yeah.
He was like, yes, let me send you bus fare
Yeah.
and come.
Uh-huh.
And that's why I packed my everything. Of course, I had nothing.
The first time in Nairobi?
First time, no, second time.
Okay.
Because first time either way, it was that school tour.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It was a school
this
tour,
actual-
and
this
you were
actual
going to
part.
specific places. I remember we went to KCC, of course,
Yeah.
National Parliament, the museum, and the Nairobi Orphanage. And that was it.
So it was more of a controlled experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
First time. Na za kitambo za mid-90s is when we used to pass through Nairobi going to
Mombasa.
not Mombasa, to Makueni. It used to be Machakos, larger Machakos then, because that's where dad comes from.
Ah, okay.
So we used to pass going there. I think it happened twice, in 1994, 1995. So I was really young. Nairobi, so it happened when I was informed for school tour.
Yeah.
And then now, coming now, 2012,
Yeah.
as a sole soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, came, met the guy I was supposed to work for.
Yeah.
He actually interviewed me.
Yeah. Where in Nairobi?
He called me to go to Ngong Road.
Ngong Road.
Ola. It was Oilibia then.
Yeah.
Near Rose Avenue.
Yes.
Hapo karibu. Inaitwa China Center Market.
China Center, yes.
Something there.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's where I went. So this guy used to worship with my cousin. My cousin actually was his reverend in Sitam.
Okay.
Yes, so I think he had talked with my cousin. Hey, I'm looking for a caretaker. My current caretaker wants to move out.
Yeah.
And then my cousin, whom we had not met for ages,
Yeah.
I can't even remember her. She can't even remember me.
Yeah.
Thinks of me.
Nice.
Asking my dad, hey, najua kuna kijana alikuwa anafanya form 4 ako wapi?
Yeah.
Ako nyumbani. Mwambie akuje.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went for the interview. I remember I was guided. You know those nini of ukitoka ushago
Yeah.
you're in Nairobi. You're told,
Strict instructions.
yes, don't ask for direction. And if you have to ask,
Yeah.
ask a makanga in uniform,
Yeah.
or a soldier in uniform, or a traffic cop or a cop in uniform.
Yeah.
So my dad used to work in Westlands.
Yeah.
Hapo tu opposite Safaricom. Nikapanda matatu za Tao, from Kangemi to Tao, nikashukishwa Odeon. Given instructions. Ukishukishwa Odeon, uliza soja ama makanga kuonesha railways upande gari za namba 8
Yeah.
za Kibich.
Yes.
That's exactly what I did. Nikaenda hapo railways nikaona, si of course wanaita namba 8 wameshika hizo kadi.
Yeah,
hata insata haiti watu unaona wanafanya hivi kadi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alafu haisimami hapo railways, hazisimami ati watu waingie. Ni kudandia.
Yeah.
I dandiad. At this point, I'm playing safe. This is not a new
You know your
town.
first time in Nairobi, everyone is
Yes.
everyone is like a con man, everyone is like a
exactly.
thief. You
So
always
I don't want
paranoid.
to play like I'm nervous, I'm scared or something. I do what the Roms are doing.
Yeah.
That's how I went to Ngong Road first time alone. Met with my cousin, went for where the guy was, sat there, started interviews, asking me my level of education. And I'm like, I've done my form 4. He was curious, what did you score? I scored a C+. C+, why are you not in college? I gave the dumbest answer ever, thinking all is well. So I told him I didn't go to college simply because the reason is obvious. So he was like, what is obvious? Obvious can be you don't want to go, you refuse to go. What is obvious? And I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have money to go to college. At the same time, I told him, but I know one day I'll go to college. So, yeah, did the interview. It was on a Saturday. On a Sunday, he told my cousin, tell him let's meet with him along Limuru Road, again in Ola, then Oilibia, at 6 in the morning. 6:30. Do I know where Limuru Road is? Luckily, I have an uncle who was a driver in Nairobi again, and he was going towards that side.
Okay,
so he
nice.
dropped me at that place, waited for him to come, pick me up, and that's how I was taken to Ruaka to start my career in caretaker.
Caretaking.
Yes. I always say housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
CV. Yeah, so that's how I.
How long were you a caretaker?
Not many years, but I worked for 8 years.
Wow, that's a lot.
From September 2012 to August 2020.
2020.
Just the other day.
So you're given a room.
Yes, you're given a room.
You're,
All the bills are met.
it's a flat.
Yes.
So what is your role as a caretaker?
As a caretaker, I'm taking care of this place in the sense that cleanness, trimming of fence, the live fence.
So you're the one actually doing the.
Yes, they are the one. You're kitu nimevia mbaya sana.
You're cleaning the stairs,
The stairs,
corridors,
cutting the wedges, edging. Yes. Na gardening. Rent. So that's the good thing, because this landlord of mine, or my boss, had already engaged his mother, because he wanted his mother to be engaged with something. Of course, as much as the mother was old, he didn't want the mother to be idle. He was staying in the same flat, so the mother used to run their accounts. Who was paid, who was not paid. So I was the one collecting the receipts and taking it to her, and then she'll write the received receipts. I take to the tenants. But this Shosho, I still respect her today. May her soul rest in peace. Told me, Michael, I want you to learn these things. One day, I'll not be able to do this.
Cool, guys. I think we need to move to part 3.
You have to go to part 3. Okay.
Let's
yeah.
Let's take a break there.